Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Screenstein Guru. Today I'll be discussing some movie and television picks. So let's get into it. Starting off with some advertisements. We've got Stranger Things recently dropped on November 26th for our Thanksgiving holiday. And they've got Gushers as well as Fruit Roll-Up stickers available for your guys to collect. I thought that was really fun that they're advertising this. It's probably one of the biggest phenomenons they've had. They've done other food launches before in season 3 and 4, like the upside down burger. But I think it's really cool to have, stickers were something in the 80s that were really popular, so they're bringing that back with Stranger Things. So that's really cool. I do want to report on, I have seen the first 4 episodes. Going into part 1, chapter 1, The Crawl. November 1987, the gang evades the military to source the Upside Down for Vecna, to search the Upside Down for Vecna, but fails to notice the threat lurking closer to home. So this, of course, was the infamous scene where the Demogorgons are going after the children this season. Apparently for vessels for Vecna. Really interesting stuff there. We seem to have gotten a bit of a power change for the Demogorgons. They do seem to be stronger. They're doing more resilient stuff. We got episode 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. So very interesting stuff here. They end up going after Holly, which is, I believe, Mike's sister. And they never really set up Holly having any involvement in anything. She was a much younger character until this season. They did, of course, do an actor change for Holly. She is the actress that was in Evil Dead Rise. So that's very interesting. After a vicious attack at the Wheeler home, Mike and Nancy confront the cost of secrecy, while Elle and Hopper embark on a rescue mission in the Upside Down. So this is another really interesting episode. I thought it was fascinating that, they bring in talent such as Linda Hamilton to play Dr. Key, who is supposedly hunting down 11 and the other remnants of the psychic children. I do think it's very awesome they're going into this. We get the return of 8 returns. We see that, Nancy and Mike's mother and father are in the hospital after their run-in with the Demogorgon. So they are, of course, laid up, most likely for the rest of the season, because they didn't really have a lot to do. They were the parents of the characters, so they had to do, put them in some kind of life-threatening situation. Going on to episode 3, I thought 3 and 4 were the standout of this 4-part episodes. So chapter 3, The Turbo Trap. Will gains unique insight into Vecna's next move, giving him and the crew an opportunity to set a trap. Holly explores her new surroundings. So we get to see Henry return, which he's played a major character since the beginning of the show. We didn't know who the main villain was, Vecna, until the last season, season 4. And then now they're revealing more backstory about Henry. Now there is a Stranger Things Broadway play that I didn't get to see. It's Tales of the Upside Down, I believe, or Shadows of Hawkins, where they go into the backstory of Henry. And apparently Henry was in a play in the 1960s with a lot of the people from that town. Everyone, pretty much all the parents, when they were teenagers, they knew Henry. So they're kind of building up to a Nightmare on Elm Street situation where, the people knew Henry disappeared. He had a Stranger Things adventure back in the 60s. So I think it's very funny that they're going back through time and explaining, the backstory for Henry. That's interesting. And the Duffer Brothers said the last few episodes would explore Henry's origins. Going to episode 4, Sorcerer, was probably my favorite episode of the entire 4-part event. The military tightens its grip on the town, rounding up children to put in this military base because they know Vecna is coming for children now. Mike, Lucas, and Robin orchestrate a daring escape. Elle comes face to face with the enemy. So very interesting setup in this, upside down, this military base. Elle and Hopper believe that Vecna is trapped inside the base, which I don't really know why they have that idea. So of course she goes to rush into the facility, try to take out Vecna, but there are weapons in place, sonic weapons, to prevent her from using her powers. So it shows a really good, strong bond between Elle and Hopper working together to get through the defenses. There's a bit of a crash out moment where we're worried that Hopper is going to sacrifice himself, but then of course he opens the door for Elle to reveal Vecna wasn't in the facility. It was actually 8. We get to see a really climactic battle sequence at the end. Last like 10 minutes of the episode is Vecna showing up to the Upside Down. He is basically telling them all, "Oh, you're nothing to me. I'm the overlord, the big bad." And then he leaves, presumably expecting the Demogorgons to take care of what's left in the world of trash. But of course we see Will Byers ends up becoming psychic. He gets powers, which I had speculated that since I think around season 3. Right around the time he started seeing the mind flare, I was speculating that Will have powers. 11 will have to help him learn to control these powers, and maybe even by the end of it, multiple people will have powers. So that was my speculation 3 or 4 seasons ago. So let's go with the rumors, speculations. What do you guys think about this season? Let me know in the comments down below. Real quick, before we go off from this video, I do want to mention some more TV picks real quick. Let's look up. Curse of Oak Island. They've got new episodes dropping, so I do want to go into that real quick. I've caught up on the current season. I believe they're on season 13. Yep. So going off from there, we already watched the comeback episode. That was the season premiere back on November 4th. Now we're going into $1 Million Baby, which came out on November 11th. These are available on Prime Video, guys. After the team makes an ancient discovery on Lot 5, they learn that the fabled treasure could be worth more than anyone imagined. So very exciting news. They're getting into the solution channel now, where they believe the money pit. It was a sort of a cave, cavern, which now has dropped down into a lot of water, slushy water, wood debris, of course, from the structure being there. But yeah, they're having to drain the solution channel now under the island, which is kind of fascinating to get to the gold. We got episode 3, Medieval Intentions, which came out on November 18th. New discoveries in the swamp and money pit area lead to potentially historic changing revelations for the team. So yeah, they keep on finding artifacts, pottery, and things that look like camp settlements. From centuries ago, we found things from the 17th century, the 16th century, going back to the 1670s. So very interesting that, it seems like a group of people keep on coming back to Nova Scotia, Oak Island, for it to be a depository for numerous precious artifacts. They haven't just found gold and silver. They found Roman crosses. They found doubloons, token barter coins, and now they're finding beads, sacred beads that they were using for trading. So we talked about Medieval Intentions. Episode 4, The Smoking Gun, came out on November 25th. As the team drills deeper than ever into the money pit area, find the swamp could have expensive or explosive implications. So yeah, they talk about how there's gas in the swamp, which could ignite and really hinder the exploration that's going on there on the island. They have to figure out a way to get this gas out because, of course, it is explosive. So that's very interesting stuff there on November 25th. Then we got December 2nd, Keep on Rockin'. After a find in the swamp proves To be at least 500 years old, Oak Island team uncovers another man-made structure on Lot 5. So like I said, they're coming across these stone pathways, which they found these in Italy and other places in Rome. Stone roads, very ancient architecture. Then I haven't watched the last couple, but there are episodes 6, 7, and 8 that I haven't gotten into. But I've caught up to episode 5, which is very interesting, fascinating stuff, guys. Them looking for treasure on Oak Island. Going into some more movie picks and stuff. Let's see. If I can do like a page real quick. Let's see what I can talk about. Okay, Avengers Doomsday news. Recently we heard that She-Hulk, Isabel Mazzolani, will not be in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars due to her stance on the company Disney Plus and telling fans to unsubscribe. Apparently now they've said that her role has been significantly cut or removed from the film. But we have heard reports that Deadpool and Wolverine will be in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars, one or the other. So that's very interesting stuff. The story for the Kang Dynasty script was released, and it sounded like several key variants would be showing up to fight Kang, such as the 3 Spider-Man we had from Spider-Man No Way Home, and several other X-Men TV characters would be showing up to fight Kang, and it would end, very interestingly, with several of the characters revealing that they are the true permanent variant of their incarnation. So for instance, Kang was supposed to take out Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, making Tobey Maguire the de facto permanent Spider-Man going forward, which that kind of sounds interesting for the trilogy they have set up for Tom Holland right now. But maybe they'd have a way of bringing him back. Kevin Feige confirmed that that script isn't being done now. It's now scrapped. They're working on another one. But the storyline was very interesting, that they had several characters, variants of their characters die off, and then the survivors became the permanent ones. That sounded very interesting. Right now, currently the script for Doomsday is sounding like Doom is going to find the Library of Worlds, which is going to be basically kind of like the TVA in a way that it observes time from outside. Sort of like the building that He Who Remains was in. A lot of people are speculating that at the end of season 1 of Loki, He Who Remains is sitting in the Library of Worlds, where he can view incursions, past incursions, future incursions, anything he wants. And they're saying Doom is going to use this Library of Time, or Library of Worlds, to supposedly come into different Earths and fuck up things. There's going to be numerous heroes. They're going to be battling him. We heard Captain America, Sam Wilson's Captain America, is going to be teaming up with a few other heroes. We've got the new Thunderbolts team. We've got Avengers joining to take on Doom, and then as well as X-Men. So that's very exciting news. But I think that'll do it for this video. Like I said, be sure to like, comment down below what you guys think of on all these shows, movie news. Till next time, guys, have a good one, and ciao.